with Dr. Joe Mercola. He's sharing some breakthroughs in alternative medicine that could change the way you think about your health. Let's get right to the #1 supplement I'm pretty sure you have never heard of. Dr. Mercola thinks you ought to be taking it. So what is it?
Well, it's called Astaxanthin, and it's got a really strange name, but...
Can you all spell that real quickly? Astaxanthin? All right, what is it? How do you use
well,
it?
it's in the carotenoid family, so it's a cousin to beta-carotene, except it's far more potent. Basically it's derived from marine algae, so we all know what salmon looks like, right? But the color of salmon, of healthy salmon, like wild Alaskan salmon, is due to astaxanthin. And if you have farm-raised salmon that isn't given artificial coloring or astaxanthin, it'll be gray. And you know about flamingos, right? You know, flamingos are born white, but they turn to pink flamingos when you give them astaxanthin. Yes.
Well, I like that.
Yeah.
Now, if I understand correctly, you said this supplement is poised to become the next vitamin D. And by that, I mean vitamin D is something that we all recognize, we just don't have enough of. Why is it no one has heard about this?
Well, its prominence will be similar to vitamin D, but I don't believe as important, because vitamin D is really the essential component. And, one of the reasons why we haven't heard of it is because it's so new. It's only really been studied for about 10 years or so in a widespread fashion. But it's a phenomenally beneficial supplement in that it's one of the most potent anti-inflammatories, natural anti-inflammatories that we know of. And you know that inflammation is important in so many diseases, not just arthritis, but cardiovascular diseases and cancer. So it's a really important tool to help modulate that. But also there's 3 other major diseases that it's useful in. 2 of them relate to the eyes. So cataracts, as we get older, it's very unusual not to have cataract surgery. But if you're regularly using this, the odds are that you can likely prevent cataracts.
And what's the right dose?
Well, the right dose varies. It's typically about 10 milligrams. You'll find about 6 to 8 milligrams in a dose of healthy Alaskan salmon. But about 2 to 8 milligrams for most people if you're treating other condition. It's also useful for athletes, especially highly competitive athletes. I mean, there's just amazing testimonials on improving performance because it's one of the most potent antioxidants that we know of, anywhere from 15 to 60 times more potent than vitamin E and vitamin C. Yeah, it is shockingly effective.
So we've got a world expert in our midst. So who's got questions for him? Yes, ma'am, shout it out.
What about fatigue?
Well, fatigue is a real challenge because it's a very common problem that can have many contributing factors. So the first treatment in fatigue is seeing someone who's really a knowledgeable healthcare clinician who can rule out the common sources. But common ones would be like thyroid dysfunctions, which is really common in women nowadays. It's almost epidemic. And then making sure you're getting enough exercises and implementing the right types of foods and sleeping properly. So those all have to be addressed. But there's not one simple magic bullet that's going to treat fatigue.
There's another question over here, I think. Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Dr. Mercola, do you take it with food? And what time of the day?
Are you referring to the astaxanthin?
Yes.
Yeah, astaxanthin, thank you for bringing that up, because it is a fat-soluble supplement. So absorption is a really crucial component, and you really need to take it with food, especially a meal that has plenty of fat, if you're going to maximize the absorption. So taking it on an empty stomach, you probably wouldn't get much. Thank you for reminding me.
And if you could just give everybody, real quickly, the vitamin regimen that you take.
Well, I don't take too many. I take astaxanthin. I take about 8 milligrams a day. And I also take coenzyme Q10, about 300 milligrams a day, and krill oil. I take 2 of those, 1 gram, 1,000 milligrams, and probiotics are good bacteria. And I take a little iodine supplement, and that's it.